Today we're going to talk about the SSPT process and the multi-tiered system of support for students this school year. So what is MTSS, or a multi-tiered system of support? It's a framework that brings together everybody that supports our students, whether it's behaviorally or academically. Under this umbrella at VACE is the interventionists, so reading for me, math is Lacey, Brian, our Dean of Behavior, our counselors, as well as the IST team. For SSPT referrals, I'm trying a new process. SSPT referrals are for students who have been retained or considered for retention. That will start right away in August if they did not already have an SSPT from last year. All previous students who ended the school year last year with unmet goals will also automatically start SSPT 2 or SSPT 3 in August, starting August 28th. So the first round of new referrals for SSPT will actually be in September. There are going to be 2 referral windows depending on your grade level. September 7th through the 29th will be for 2nd grade through 4th grade. September 15th through September 29th will be for TK and 1st grade. So there are different levels of SSPT support. The very first level is when you make the first referral. The teacher and the interventionist set the student's academic goals based on their student data, in-class observations, and students' assignments. The student will then be pulled in a small group twice a week for 6 to 8 weeks, and we will monitor their progress. During this time, we'll have a check-in after 3 weeks to see how the student is doing. We will talk about their data in class as well as in the intervention sessions. And then in 6 to 8 weeks, we have the follow-up SSPT meeting with parents where we decide what next steps need to be taken. If a student has not met their goal yet, they move into SSPT 2. They are making progress at this stage, but they still haven't met the goal. This means they'll be pulled in a small group twice a week, but I will also push into class once a week to support with their goals in the classroom setting as well. We'll do a check-in after the first 3 weeks, see how things are going. We'll share data, and then we'll have another SSPT meeting with parents and counselors in the conclusion of the 6 to 8 weeks to see what we need to do next. If that student's going to exit the SSPT program, or if they need more support. If they need more support, they would move into SSPT 3. This is after they've had 12 to 16 weeks of their academic intervention services in the classroom as well as in the pullout room. The student would still be working on the same goal, but showing no growth in that goal in class as well as in the intervention. Student data would have to show no clear improvement or progress in the focus academic areas of concern. This is when we refer to the school psychologist and they will come do an observation. We can also refer to the IST team for possible testing. So here's kind of a pyramid of what the SSPT support systems look like. Tier 3 at the bottom, this green level, that's universal. That's something that the student gets in class. Tier 2 is targeted. So that's when the students are being pulled out of class. They've had an SSPT 1 or an SSPT 2 referral. And Tier 3 is intensive support, where they are being referred for more services. And that is an SSPT 3. That's the referral stage. I'm concerned about a student in my class. What do I do? So the very first thing you're going to do is start with the in-class academic interventions. This could look like your small group reading or your small group maths to work on those specific skills that the students really need 3 to 4 times a week. This could look like you assigning iReady lessons to target those specific learning gaps, one-on-one work with an IA, scaffolding assignments in class, using peer modeling or partner work to help that student, using differentiated centers, and communication with parents on how to help the students at home, or scaffolding their homework assignments so that they can get support at home as well. If the in-class interventions are not working, there is a new teacher referral form. Just want to show you that. And it looks a little different than last year. So you would fill this out with the referring person, the date, student name, grade, their reason for referral. Is it an academic? Is it behavior? Is it an ELA or English language learner? Then also some more background information that we didn't have on the other one last year is attendance. If a student has a lot of absences or they are late every single day, we need to know that, as well as if they need any accommodations like a hearing device. Then the next part in the form is their fluency, letters and sounds, nonsense words, oral reading fluency. These can all be got from your Hegarty lessons or your Hegarty assessments. I would also like to know if they're an English language learner, and then what their primary home language is. If it is a behavior referral, you'd be filling out more about the classroom and positive behavior or playground behavior. And then more in depth about your reason for concern. What are their strengths? What is the academic or behavior concern? Is there a language concern? Are there any standards not being met? So this would be looking at your iReady data. You can get that information there. And then the other boxes are classroom interventions and strategies. What have you tried in class? Please attempt 3 interventions. And then how often are you doing those interventions? Is he or she in a reading group that meets 3 times a week? Are they in a reading group that meets twice with the teacher and once with the IA? And then how did they work? And then any other additional information in these 2 boxes. And then the last box would be really what specifically do you want the child to be able to do? So this is when you're thinking about the goals in SSPT that you'd want them to work on. And that's the new referral form. So when you fill that out, you will also need to have the data from your iReady assessments, your EL benchmarks, or math benchmarks and assessments, copies of student work in class. Let's also have 3 pieces of evidence of student work, and then interventions tried in class. So this could be a scaffolded assignment, could be annotated notes, it could be your observations. After I receive that referral form, I'm going to come observe the student in class. So I would connect with you about when the best time that would be. And then we would meet to set those academic goals. Then we would have the very first meeting with the teacher, the parents, the counselors. We'd go over the goals. Then we would start the pullout for 6 to 8 weeks. We would have a check-in meeting after 3 weeks just to go over what is progressing, or if there are more areas of concern. And then the last meeting would be in six to 8 weeks, and that would determine the next steps. So here's kind of a breakdown of a timeline. The first thing is all interventions are done in class. If those interventions are not working, you fill out the referral form. After I get the referral form, I come to a student observation and we have our pre-SSPT meeting. Then the counselor would set the first SSPT meeting with parents. That meeting is held. In 3 weeks, then we do a check-in, see how things are going. And then in 6 to 8 weeks, we have the follow-up SSPT meeting with parents, and the counselors set that up. That's pretty much how our SSPT process is going to work this year. The window for new referrals, again, is September 7th through the 29th for 2nd through 4th grade, and September 15th through the 29th for TK through 1st grade. Please let me know if you have any questions. I really hope this year to collaborate with you so that we can really help these kids grow and meet their goals. Thank you.